So this introduces a very cool subcategory that I like a lot, called relicts. These are surviving species of what is commonly believed to be an otherwise extinct group of organisms. And so you have stuff like your classic plesiosauroid interpretation of loch monsters, the tombstone thunderbird, and everyone's favorite here, the thylacine. So that is an example of a cryptid. That was a known animal that kind of went back into cryptid category because it's believed they're extinct, but there's still sightings here and there. So is it around or not? We don't know. It makes it a relic. Look at this guy. This is another fantastic Celtic myth. This is the Afanc from Welsh mythology. We're going back to the Middle Ages with this one. It's a Welsh monster that was believed to be responsible for the flooding of rivers and lakes simply by tossing around in the lake bed. It goes back to Arthurian legends. The knight Percival was said to have vanquished it. Here's the Knights of the Round Table here. So it has various depictions, but most often it's represented as a hybrid, half beaver, half crocodile mix. And that's just singing to me. I love that. So it has a reputation, a bad reputation, like Joan Jett, of being a water demon menace that must be slain. And in some stories, a maiden song is said to have soothed the monster. Ooh. So here's a different sort of interpretation of it. Same half rodent, half reptile, but has a rodent up front and the reptile in the back. Another method that I use when I adapt a cryptid, especially for something as strange as this, is to imagine it just in silhouette. So this is like combining reptile and mammal is going to be a hard sell. So how do I make this biologically feasible? Well, let's look at it just in silhouette. What does that look like now? To me, yes. It looks like a platypus, doesn't it? So let's interpret this as a supermassive platypus. Was there ever a large cousin to the modern day platypus? Why, yes, there was. A relative of Obdurodon theracuschai. Ooh-ah. They discovered a tooth. It even had teeth. This is perfect. And so here's my sketch version of it. So we just scale it up a little bit, make those teeth just a little bit more vicious because we know that it can have teeth, and we have our Afanc. Isn't that cool? I decided to name him Percival after the knight that slew him. Just like the Dobarku, he's in the same situation. He's held captive by the villains in the second book. And so they sort of, in a darkly ironic way, named him after the knight that supposedly slew his kind, Percival. Winslow comes to call him just Percy. And he's going to keep his love of music. We'll use that later in the book. So this is going to manifest some interesting consequences. Winslow has, this is at a point in Winslow's past where he's new to all of these monsters. He might have been somewhat responsible for the capture of this beast unknowingly. And here's our little section here. Getting a closer, calmer look at the face of the animal. The patterns on the snout that once resembled reptilian scales now seem more like the cracking abrasions of a scarred, dehydrated bill. Well, the Afanc was certainly capable of doing damage with those jaws and the elaborate fangs that armed them. The way they clacked and shook on the meal made Winslow reconsider the legend's origins. And so we have another inversion because we expected this to be a demon and it is not. And redemption. So while we are literally redeeming the reputation of this creature from a demon to just a standard animal, we're also have an opportunity to redeem Winslow, who may have accidentally got them both into the situation that they are. Final design. Drum roll. Ooh-ah, there he is in his crate, and here he is on the cover. Look at that.